Hi everyone, Martha Ermias here, coming to you live from Columbus, Ohio. How's everybody doing? Today is Monday morning here in Columbus. It's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Last night it was snowing very heavily, so we woke up for a very cold day today. Hi everyone. Hi Mom. How are you? Thank you so much for joining me. Hey Darren. Nice to see you here. So this is Martha Ermias, and my purpose and mission and passions are three things, which is entrepreneurship, personal growth, and contribution. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's a very cold morning in Columbus. For those of you who are in Columbus, it snowed last night, and please let me know where you're joining in from and what time it is that you're watching this, and whether or not it's cold or it's snowing on your side of the world or side of the town. Actually, today was, I want to share with you what I did this morning. One of the things that I wanted to do was start running in the morning because one of my fitness goals was to lose body fat percentage, and I really didn't hit my numbers after 4 weeks of, even though I really did get a lot of improvement, after 4 weeks of being on a healthy diet and working out 3 times a week, I still didn't hit the number that I wanted. So running, interval running was going to increase my chances in the next 2 weeks, well, a month, you know. So I said, okay, every single morning I'm going to run for about 30 minutes, interval running. And my goal was to wake up at 6 a.m. and start doing that. And the minute I woke up, I said, oh my gosh, what did I commit myself to? Because it was cold. I really didn't want to go out. But one of my goals for this year is really to develop mental toughness. And the way you develop mental toughness that can translate to other things in life is really do things that you don't like to do, like waking up in the morning and going out there to run. So, you know, we have a small gym around in the complex where I live in. I went there and I actually did my 30 minutes of running. So I was so proud of myself, and I felt good. I still do feel good. So that's going to be one of my morning routines for the next month, for the next 4 weeks. Today I'm going to talk about a topic that I was a little bit hesitant to bring up, and I'll tell you why. The topic I'm bringing up today is playing to win in relationships in 2018. The reason I want to, I'm going to talk about a little bit about playing to win in marriages, and I'm personally not married myself, so I felt like, okay, maybe people are not going to think I'm qualified to talk about this, but then, I'll share with you why I really wanted to talk about this. Personally, there's nothing that makes me happier than to see a married couple thriving, because I'm all about people succeeding in life. And if people are married and they're not succeeding in their marriage, it's just impossible for them to succeed in anything else that they do. Because it's, like when someone is thriving and trying to succeed in life, there's 5 areas in life of their lives that they have to make sure that they're succeeding in all 5. Otherwise, they can't succeed in other areas, whatever they're trying to do. So your career, your finances, your relationships, your health, and your emotional health. All those 5 areas are very, very important for you to succeed in life overall. So relationship is a big component, and we can't just overlook and kind of ignore it, But as we all know, especially in the United States, there's actually more than 50% of marriages fail or end up in divorce. And out of the other 50, almost half of them are not happily married. I mean, that's kind of like a scary statistics to kind of, see that a lot of people, they marry out of love, and they start a relationship, they start a journey, but they actually never complete it with success. And it's very sad, to be honest. And personally, I'll tell you a couple of stories that I encountered, especially in the last 1 year. Actually, 3 stories that I'll tell you. You know, I was traveling from Columbus to San Francisco, connecting in San Francisco and then to LA. And the lady that was sitting right next to me, we started chatting, and she started telling me about, I could tell that relationships matter to her a lot. So I started asking her questions geared towards relationships, and she started telling me about her kids and her married life and things like that. And she's been married more than 25 years, and started asking questions like, how'd you guys meet? How'd you know it was the right person? And she started, you know, pouring out. And as she was talking about her husband, her eyes were sparkling. You know, she was smiling the whole time. And I don't know, for those of you who know, flight from Columbus to San Francisco is about 5 hours. So literally we talked about her relationship with her husband, stuff that they went through, and things like that, almost for 5 hours. And the whole time there was this joy, just, you know, even the tough times that they went through and things like that, you know, what she learned out of it. It was just an amazing conversation. And at the end I told her, oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. I was just so, you know, I still remember that lady, because I was so happy for her, and to see that somebody actually really succeeded in marriage, and how much joy, happiness, and contentment it was giving her in the rest of her life. To see that was amazing. And a similar thing happened to me just recently, actually. I was connecting from Denver to Columbus as well, and this lady has been married for 45 years, okay? If you're watching this, actually, she's my Facebook friend, so if you're watching this, you know who you are. She's been married for 45 years, and she married her childhood friend, whom she knew when she was 5 or 6 years old. And they started dating when they were in high school, and then kind of broke up, and then started dating again in college, got married, very happily married. And you could just tell, now they've got grandkids and all of that. And actually, as soon as we landed, as we were going to the luggage claim, you know, he was coming to greet her, and the way they were greeting each other was just so beautiful. In 2.5 hours, she talked about her family, her relationships, her marriage, and things like that. It was just amazing to watch that. So to see successful marriages is amazing, and I could, you know, it gives an overall health to the person to be successful in marriage, which is what I think it's one of the areas in life that needs a lot of attention and focus. On the other hand, I've also seen people struggling in marriage. I've had people that are very, very close to me. One person in particular, she's a good friend of mine, and she's such a great person. I've known her for many, many years, more than 15 years. She's just a beautiful person, very wise, very simple, very positive, loving, caring, very generous, and with all the good intentions in her heart. I know her very well, know her very dearly. However, in her marriage, after 4 years of marriage, they were struggling a little bit, actually a lot. And she would share stuff with me, and we would talk and things like that. For about 3 years, we did that. And what I could see was the change in her personality because of the tension in whatever was going on in her marriage. Changing her personality, she started becoming more irritable, stressed, always stressed, and restless, and also, you know, especially with her work, she was just not happy everywhere, not just in her marriage, but just everywhere. The way she was handling life was not like a wise person that I knew she was. And I knew it was because she was restless in her marriage. And she's the kind of person who believes in being married for forever. Not really, she doesn't believe in divorce or anything like that. But she was actually contemplating that, even like deep in her heart, you know. So it was really disturbing to see that. And we talked a lot, and I did what I could to help her out, to kind of like work through the situation. But I knew that one of the best advices I could give her was to go attend a seminar that I'm going to share with you guys. Actually, that's the main reason I'm bringing this up, because there's help for people who need it. So that I advised her, almost pushed her, worked through almost for a year. I followed up with her, wanting her to go attend this seminar, and she did. And after she did it, within 6 months, 7 months, their marriage is totally transformed, totally 100%. And she's actually helping other people get their marriages to be transformed. And so before I go to some of the things that I think can help people in thriving in their marriages, I want to talk about some of the myth or beliefs that people have when they're struggling in the relationships. What happens to them and what they believe. It's a deception. It's not true, but that's what people start to believe, and that kind of blocks them or stops them from actually moving forward towards the solution. So first of all, when people get into a relationship, a lot of times people think that they're ready and equipped to succeed in their relationship. Okay. But that's actually not really true, because sometimes it could be, sometimes it may not. And I think the main reason we all fail in any area of life is because we're not equipped. It's because we really don't know how to play to win in whatever area it is. It's just like in business, or it could be your career, or it could be your health and fitness. If you don't know exactly what you're supposed to be doing, really, the principles that work, the principles that don't work, what your responsibility is to play to win, then you're definitely going to fail. And how many people are really exposed to the right kind of equipping for them to succeed in relationships? Personally, I think that's the missing link. I think that's the missing link. A lot of people think they're equipped, but they're not. And they don't even think they need to invest time and effort to equip themselves to be successful in relationships. So whatever knowledge that we may have, it could be helpful to some extent, but if we're not producing the kind of result that we want, then it means that the knowledge and skills that we have is not enough. That's just what it means. And again, it boils down to personal growth and personal development. So going into it, people may not be equipped for it. Or even when they're in it, when things start to go bad, instead of seeking help to be equipped and grow more in order for them to face the challenges that they're facing, they start to take it very personal. They start to take the problem personal, and they go into a fixed mindset mode where they say, I can't solve this, nothing can be done about this kind of thing. So a lot of successful people who have been successful in their relationships actually invest a lot of time developing their skills in relationships, the relationship skills that they need to develop, their mindset, the way they think, and things like that. And that's why they become successful. Otherwise, it's you're leaving it to chance. So a lot of times people leave it to chance. It's like a gamble. It may or may not work. And that's dangerous, because it's a huge part of our life. Relationships are a core and a huge part of our lives. And even if we ignore it, or we think, I don't really need I could be okay without relationships, we're not created to be that way. So 100% fulfillment and 100% success is really not possible. At least that's what I believe. And the second area is that when relationships go bad, a lot of times people think that it's the responsibility of both parties to fix it. I'm sure a lot of us think that way. Like, we point fingers, and I said, okay, I would do this, but he or she is not going to do this. We want it to be 50-50. We want it to be 50-50 as far as working towards restoration. That's a myth, and that really does not work. And here's the reason why. Because we cannot control the actions of another person. or what they want or what they decide or their desire. Nobody can. Only they can control that. But we can control our own actions, our own desires, our own heart. We can control ourselves, but we can't control the other party, right? And I believe that in everything in life, you really can't control your surrounding. The only thing you can control is you. The only person you can direct in terms of the right direction is you. You can't control anybody else. So, but the funny thing is, when you work on yourself, the person that you can control, and work towards progressing and becoming the person, what is my responsibility here? And leave the rest of it without even really not care about what the responsibility of the other person is. But if you really work on your own responsibilities, there's a very high chance that you might inspire the other person to start taking responsibility as well. So you can only lead by inspiration. You can't force, you can't demand, you can't expect, because it's not going to work at all. Actually, in the book Boundaries that I read, it was there was one section where it talks about how, when in marriage relationships, when the boundaries are not set right, there's no proper or healthy boundaries in the marriage. He would, the author was advising the wife, a couple that were having problem, to start setting boundaries. She read the book, she started applying what she learned. Even though her husband didn't read it, was not educated, was not doing anything towards it, she started taking action, and her action over time started to inspire him. Actually, her change and her transformation started to inspire him, and he started to follow with that, So the marriage was restored because one person took action. And that's what they teach, only one person can take action to cure their relationship, okay? So this myth that, it's got to be 50-50 or I'm not going to do anything is wrong. We're always responsible for our own responsibility and our own actions, and that's all we need to focus on. If the other party is not willing to go the same route, but we can do what we need to do, and that will inspire change in the other person. And that's exactly what happened with my friend that I just shared her story with earlier. Her action, her true transformation inspired her husband to go in the same route as well. Now they're a team. They're working as a team, and it's just so beautiful. They actually gave me a call I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago, to both of them together. I mean, she was the only one I was talking to for the last 3 years, not him, but both of them together, to just say thank you for kind of guiding them to the right direction so that their marriage could be restored. So it's one person can take action, it can cure the relationship. And the third one is, sometimes people think that once it's gone so bad, they think it's irreversible. It's too late. There's this thing that people feel like it's too late, and I understand that, especially when so much damage has happened, so much hurt is involved, and after going through a lot of difficulties and difficult times, you start to see the person as that person is almost evil, right? You just can't see anything good about that person. It is possible, and I totally understand that. But at the same time, nothing is impossible, nothing is irreversible. And I think for those of you who have read Compound Effect, and a lot of my followers are reading Compound Effect, which really makes me happy, you see there's a section in that book where Darren Hardy talks about how gratitude really changed the relationship he has with his wife, made it really, really good. So what he decided to do was every single day of the year, he decided to write something nice about his wife. Write like keep a journal about his wife. I mean, the things that he writes could be like as silly as, you know, I love the way she put her hair today, or things like that. I like the way she walks, or whatever nice thing that he could say about her. He kept a journal for a year, and then he gave her on Thanksgiving Day. Okay, and what he said was the exercise actually helped him fall in love with his wife all over again. Okay, that was an amazing story to hear. So, you know, when we've been through a lot in a relationship, it's very hard for us to see the positive things. All we see is just the negative. All we see is how bad it's gone, and you know, from that perspective or from that mindset, we don't even want to deal with it, or the desire to even work the relationship out is not even going to be there. But you've got to start with the end in mind. I mean, for me, this is what I believe. If other people could do it, then why not me? You know, I'm not married, but and that's what I believe. I'm telling you what I believe, even in other areas of my life, you know. So even in relationship, or when I'm talking to people who are going through relationship problems, what I try to help them visualize. You know, if other people have succeeded after going through a crazy amount of disaster in their relationship, and the relationship has been restored, there's no reason why this cannot be restored. And I'm gonna go to the fourth one actually. And then sometimes people feel like ending the relationship or divorce is the only solution, and that it's going to make them happy. Personally, I don't believe that. The reason I say that is because I've talked to a lot of people who've been divorced. They're not going to say that they regret their divorce, and maybe they don't. But there's something that has changed forever. First of all, they feel like they failed in a relationship, and their confidence to be successful in the next relationship is very low. And I'm not trying to pick on people who've been divorced. To be honest, my parents were divorced. I understand that sometimes people get divorced, and that's fine. But it's not the end of the world. It's about learning, like, you know, if some, like, for example, if I failed in business, what I would do is, okay, what made me fail in that business, and what can I learn or get equipped so that I can succeed in my next business venture, right? So the same thing with the relationships. You know, one failed relationship doesn't mean that it has to be the end of it. What can we do, or what can we learn so that the next relationship we're not failing? So it's all about, what I'm trying to talk about here is, we need to be equipped to succeed in relationship, and we need to be equipped. We have to seek for the right guidance and skill development in order for us to thrive in relationships as well. And as I said earlier, thriving in a relationship is also very, very important, because it's a big component of our life, and it affects the rest of other areas of our life. So for our overall success, thriving in a relationship is very, very important. So, and there is hope, guys. There is really, really hope. And I'm gonna go towards the end, and this is what I wanted to share with you guys today. My mentor and coach, Dani Johnson, I've talked about her a lot before. She's really helping me in terms of growing as a person, growing in business, learning about relationships, and developing skills that I need to succeed in life. And she's just an amazing person. And she's also a little bit about her story. When she failed in marriage first. Well, first of all, she had her daughter when she was 17, before she was married. And then her second marriage, she failed. Her third marriage was headed for failure. Okay? I'm sorry, her first marriage failed, and then her second marriage was headed for failure. When she talks about it, I could only imagine how toxic it was. And they were on the verge of divorcing and things like that. But she made a decision that she was not going to fail again. And so she started learning, she started studying, she started working on herself, and now they're being married for 26 years. They're extremely successful in their marriage, and they raised 5 kids. She has 8 grandkids, extremely successful in her family and everything that she does, only because she really spent a lot of time learning and investing in developing the skills that she needs. And one of the things she said is she came from a family that was not very functional. Her parents were drug addicts. They also lived in welfare. She was her stepdad was very abusive. She didn't even know that her stepdad was her stepdad until she was 16 or 17. So very dysfunctional family, always fights. And she said cops would come to our house, and when her parents were picking her up from school, they're already under the influence of drugs and things like that. That's the kind of home she grew up in. And she said that could never groom her to be successful in relationships. She said, I had a lot of anger, a lot of, emotional problems in life. Even though she wanted to be successful, she was not groomed for success. And of course, that translated into her marriage. Possibly her husband, the same thing too. But all of that didn't really matter because she found a way to equip herself for success in the area. And now she's teaching that. And I'm so excited that she's actually doing that, because personally I could refer people to her seminars and celebrate their success and see when they are becoming transformed from the inside out. But today she's doing an amazing thing, which she is offering a free webinar tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is about 9 hours from now. 10 hours. I don't know how to count. So she is offering a free webinar online. If you register for it and it's free, you'll get an email, and then you go to the link and you get to watch whatever she's teaching. It's amazing, guys. I mean, her seminar costs minimum $500 for a 3-day weekend. And this is a free seminar that she's presenting. And she's written books that are amazing. I've read 2 of her books already. She also teaches about getting out of debt. It's an overall success principles that she really teaches. And I want to tell you one testimonial of someone that I know. I met through a mastermind group. He said that going to her seminars not only transformed his business. I mean, he started attending it because he wanted to transform his business, but he was dating his now wife, then girlfriend. He was dating her, and they were, breaking up and going back, breaking up and going back. And he said, in my heart, I never thought I'd marry her. But then attending Danny Johnson's conference allowed him to understand himself and his girlfriend, and also equipped him with the skills and tools that he believed he could be successful in marriage. And that's when he proposed to his girlfriend. They got married, and they always talk about it, like for 3 years they've been very happily married. And I could see in their relationship that they're very happily married, because they were not equipped before. They didn't know how to live with each other, but now they are equipped and they're being successful. And that came out of Danny Johnson. This is somebody I know personally. 2 testimonies I just gave you, but there's just countless of people that their life is being transformed because of this seminar. So I highly recommend you guys, whether you are married and happily married, maybe you can help other people, please go ahead and attend it. Attend the webinar tonight. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you're struggling in your marriage and you think there's no hope, you don't even want to try, I know that's a possibility. I don't even want to try. I'm just going to survive it. Or if you're really suffering and not even wanting to continue to thrive in your marriage at all, give this a try. I just encourage you to just give it a try. It doesn't cost you anything. 8 p.m. tonight, register for her webinar. You'll get an email. You click on the email and you'll be able to attend it from wherever you are, from whichever side of the world that you are. This is accessible to you. Or if you're someone who has never been married, you're a single person, but you someday you're probably gonna get married, or you want to get married, I highly recommend that you attend the seminar as well, because equipping ourselves for relationships Hi, Maza. Okay, the name of the seminar is Winning to, let me see, Playing to Win in Marriage. That's the name. And then her name is Danny Johnson. She is, I'm just so honored that she's my mentor and my coach. Not necessarily personally, but I go to her seminars. I learn from her a lot. So Danny Johnson is her name. So what I will do, so if you're single too, please go ahead and attend. So what I will do is on the comment of this video, I will include the link where you can go and register if you're interested. And if you can't make it to tonight's webinar, then please go ahead and to her website or her Facebook page and follow her. Follow her so that whenever she's got seminars and different teachings, different resources like this, you can start learning from her. So that's pretty much my recommendation. I hope you guys are enjoyed this message, and if you feel like there is someone who can benefit from this message, if you know someone who's struggling in their marriage or they're not happy in their relationship, or even if they're happy in their relationship and you think they can influence others, please go ahead and share this video. I just want to get the message out there so that many families can start thriving in the one area that's very, very important to the overall success of their life, which is really relationships. Okay, and thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate you, and I hope that you have a very productive week. It's the beginning of the week. Start with the end in mind. Begin with the belief that you're gonna win this week. You're gonna make it productive, and it's gonna be better than the last week, and it definitely will be that way for you. Okay, God bless you all. Thank you so much, and please share if you like what you heard. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.